So we're here today with Nina Migneco, the SAA Defensive Player of the Week. Nina, congratulations. This is your second time earning the honor this year.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about how, just like your overall performance this weekend, especially Sunday, getting a career high at 9 saves?
Yeah, obviously, I think I played pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. Obviously, we wanted the win, but I can't be too disappointed with 9 saves. That was a big day for me, especially having to come out in the middle of the game and being able to, come back and, help my team after that and stay composed was big for me. So I feel like I did pretty well in that aspect.
So Rhodes against Center on Sunday, Rhodes received 3 cards, which means your team was playing a person down. So as a goalie, what goes through like your mind and your thoughts whenever your team is gonna, that your team is gonna be down?
Yeah. So it was tough to get those cards, but I mean, it was my defenders and they were playing super hard, and I, didn't blame them for anything that happened. But it is kind of a tough situation, so you just have to make sure like when that happens, we just try really hard to communicate immediately like who's going to step back, because like if it was a forward, we could just play down a forward, but you really can't play down a defender, especially in a big game like we were playing. So one of our center mids had to come back, and it was just really big to communicate with them and make sure they were comfortable and knew what they were doing and that we were there for them. So basically just a lot of directive communication to make sure that whoever isn't comfortable in that spot usually, felt okay coming back and, filling in that defensive spot.
So this weekend, you guys are on the road. You're playing at Sewanee on Saturday, and then you're turning around and you're driving all the way west, a little bit west of St. Louis, to play a neutral site game. Can you talk a little bit about, since it's such a big road trip, just like what the team's doing and how you guys are feeling going into it?
Yeah, so we actually went to Sewanee last weekend, I believe, for 2 neutral site games also. So we've already made the trip to Sewanee, so we feel pretty comfortable with it. It's not too bad of a trip. So I think that we'll be okay going into Sewanee and going into a conference game. Everyone will be excited. Going to St. Louis, I think, is going to be a little tough because the drive is pretty far, but again, we do get to play on water turf when we're there, which is really exciting and an opportunity that we have never had before as a program, I don't believe. So I think that'll make up for it, being able to play on a turf that's that fast, and we'll be able to use our speed to, use that to our advantage. So I think everyone's excited to go to St. Louis and play on that, even though it is pretty far.
Can you talk a little bit about how you feel like your team is situated right now? Some players change positions, and how you feel like you guys are headed into the second half of your season.
Yeah, so I think we have, we've kind of solidified our positioning. We switched people around a little bit at the beginning of the season, and I think going into the second half we have a pretty solid idea of who's playing where, but as we've seen in the past couple of games, if things aren't going well, we have switched people up, and it's worked pretty well to our advantage. So I think it's important that we have players that are versatile and can play anywhere, and that we have a super deep bench and some really, really talented younger players. I think that helps us a lot with subbing and switching people out, and if someone happens to not be doing well that game in that position, we just switch it out and we have a bunch of other people that can fill in. So I think that going into the rest of our season, you'll see a lot of that, us switching for each other and being able to move around a lot.